So this is the Toshiba with the Linux, and this is the monitor from the trash. And this is configured. Okay, the Croatian letters don't work. I did something with this keyboard. I cannot tell what it is, but you will notice. The screen isn't working, so I put this here. Camera is covered as well, but doesn't matter. The main thing here is, look what happens if somebody who doesn't know the command to switch it off turns it on. Listen to the sound. Wait. Okay, it wasn't booted. F1 because we need to activate the keyboard, the password. Turn this off, AI, you motherfucker. I won't show how to stop that. Yeah, you wanna get inside? I will sequence this. This is like. It's the same with many words, like I didn't know until few years ago, 2 years ago when I got the smartphone. Somebody saw we have in Croatia, we tend to use English words, but the actual predicate is the ending is Croatian, grammar wise. So we have like in Croatian is if you see something, video je. He has seen. But we have like sino je. Seen AO, like video, but seen. So means like he saw the message, he got this double confirmation that he received the message, but he didn't answer. So he'd seen your message, seen it. And now, okay, this is like not a good example, but I wanted to say that what will happen to the word seen and such similar words, we tend to have trends with those abbreviations and I don't know, whatever, Everybody use like MD, NDD, in every terminology, every business, every industry has its own this like abbreviations, which are fucked up and don't mean shit. And it's not by chance; it's with purpose to make us not understand each other, basically. And that's actually, why this pisses me off, because such trends, where those words like gain popularity and become part of like a vocabulary or regular conversation or whatever it is, that's how you start words. This is black magic actually, because you're confusing people with words which don't make sense, and that's the same with any other words, because you have the people stick around one word or something which they think in their mind. Nobody's thinking the same. Nobody's actually understanding each other, because you're listening to exactly the words you want to listen to, and there are like many words in one sentence. So I don't know what to say. Today, if you send a message without emoji or without a smiley, people will think something's going on. We came to this point where like people are assuming rather than directly confronting. So everybody's becoming like a pussy. So that's not a good way to go. But if you ask the higher agenda, they prefer like those type of de-evolution. But I don't accept it. We had like instance in Croatia. We have like really words which are out of tradition and out of use, and they're like their etiology has a foundation, it has a story. So we like have, it was like, which word was it? Compliance, we have like suradljivost. Suradljivost means surađivati. Surađivati means to work together. to work along, not just to work together. But su means one with another. So we're in cohesion. We're cohesively working with one each other, and that's like compliance. It's not just. It doesn't have to be so computeristically. It reminds me of those, like what's the name of the movie when those like MIT guys go play poker in with Kevin Spacey in Las Vegas, based on a true story, whatever it is. I don't know. They get banned from casinos because they know the trick, and it starts with like this professor explaining this bullshit story, which I heard thousands of times. With like you have three doors, and if you choose this door, then the percentage drops from 66 to something like that, and it never made sense to me. Like blockchain and Bitcoin made never sense to me. I wasn't bad in mathematics, let's say. I don't wanna. I wasn't the best, but I was among the best. Not just here, but in Zagreb, and beyond. I was interested. And programming Pascal was based on Bulgarian. We wrote it on paper. So I'm not didn't start understanding programming yesterday. I wrote it on paper. So yeah, this like people who had never interested in mathematics prior to internet or YouTube, they're suddenly like interested in science and in mathematics, and I don't know. They watch like what's it called, like Big Bang Theory, and suddenly they're interested in Einstein and like EMC square and those shitty bullshits. And besides, they're all like super rich, and they present like really really rare percentage of people who can afford such lives. And it's like, doesn't matter, I don't give a fuck. Okay, but that's not the point. The point is that somebody who wants to explain you Bitcoin and blockchain and those things, and doesn't have a wider understanding of anything else besides this thing right in this moment, and doesn't take like years to understand like any functions or integrals or any complicated mathematics, and does it like because he has passion for it and wants to find out something about it. There are certainly people who do that, but I haven't met them. So 66%, 34%. If you ask the king, where should I go, left or right? If you say left, which answer you will go? They will hang you, blah, 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 which is the right answer? There is no answer. It's like what was called. There was like this semi-stupid show with Pamela Anderson. She was like, I don't know, like some secret agent girl, VIP shit, and they were like, it was really actually funny, but there was some situation where she had like equation, and she didn't even understand the equation, but then she said there are not enough variables for the equation, and the answer was correct. I just found out about the term in the Olympics. It's called a lucky loser. And yesterday I was with my friends and I asked, what the fuck is this? I'd rather be an unlucky winner than a lucky loser. And he's trying to explain to me. And the more he did try to explain, the more it didn't make sense. Except in the end, we configured that it's it's a format basically. But the word they chose is really offensive, because nobody should be a loser who is taking part in any sort of competition, because you have to have guts, to do any sort of contest. So I would drop the word loser, and there is in English so many words you can use besides loser, where you don't have to offend the competitor. It's like, I don't know, if you get through, there's certainly a word for somebody who was lucky and getting through, but not being at his own best or something like that, or where others have failed to do the same. But nobody should be a loser, so that's like, what the fuck is this, stupid word. Just by chance, I was explaining some stoichiometry to my friend, which I hadn't really in the second year of biochemistry, but it's basically cool mathematics programming, but more like tangible, natural. And I was some there was some period where I was investigating some alchemy, and those things. And the main difference between chemistry and alchemy is if your electrons and valences are stable, and if, for instance, you have like H2O, like hydrogen is +1, oxygen is -2, so you need two molecules of hydrogen to make it like electronically balanced to be zero, same as in other applications in nature. But I was like interested because Bedouins who are used to travel to the deserts without any water, when they come to the point where they can drink, they drink hypertonic liquid. So biochemistry and Mayo guys would say this guy should get kidney failure. But Bedouins do it like for 5,000 years or maybe more, or whatever time for them especially means. They like they prefer, I think, time wise to use horizon more than seconds or those terms. But why do they drink hypertonic in alchemy? You can combine anything in the periodic system, organic, inorganic, whatever you want to do. That's how they try to get gold. It's not easy. It's not easy to get those elements, or even to know to have time or money or backup. For those kinds of experiments, especially today. Where everything is like you cannot hide nothing, not even science. And but there is a trick. You have like in the pharmacy, they used to. It's like popular to get this. We call it Gorka salt. Gorka salt is like bitter salt, but basically it's magnesium sulfate. In contrast to regular salt, when you have like Ni and natrium chloride, +1 -1, 1 to 1, one molecule, really simple. Magnesium has four molecules. Magnesium, bitter salt, magnesium sulfate oxide, MgSO4, MgSO4, four molecules of oxygen. Imagine this. So, for instance, if you would have like a really strong stomach acid, which is hydrochloride, if we can push enough uh, stomach acid into your stomach, you can get four molecules of water on one molecule of salt. So you could like hydrate yourself. You could produce water out of stomach acid and maybe hydrate yourself. Who knows? Not bad to know. But imagine like that's like basic biochemistry. But and it could work to not die of dehydration just with one like crystal of bitter salt without anything else, just a little bit because you have like four molecules of oxygen. If you get like four pushes of stomach acid, you get four molecules of water from nowhere, from nothing. Okay, let's say you use hydrogen like this from your body and chloride gets, we need to think of this as well, like to buffer it, but that's a different story. Here it's like the amazing thing that who would say that salt and stomach acid could produce water from nowhere? Alchemy. So regarding what I just said about using language deliberately by someone, and not just using it, but changing it, adapting it. So during the so-called course of time, they can have like real oversight and be in charge. So if you use diplomatics and politics and such things, you get a messenger which people have elected. So we can say most of the people will back up the guy who is their voice. And you have like a handful of guys who can change the dynamics of the world. It by using language in a way which people tend to understand, but actually nobody understands anybody. And then we have the like I don't know, diplomatic language in French, and other languages are accepted to be like English because the popularity of those countries were more than other countries. But the more, let's say, recent countries, the ancient countries, or maybe the countries which had to survive and had to keep their language to really be able to communicate, like in Croatia. We have like a German trend of combining words, so I noticed that. And politics and theology and philosophy. Don't know, philosophy is depend of the philosopher, but rolling and smoking and rolling and smoking and rolling and smoking and rolling and smoking. So in the language there is like the strength, or we combine words to get really, really undoubtful answers. Where do you go? When you're, for instance, in Bosnia, you cannot allow yourself to have doubtful answers. You have to give certain answers because wrong answers can lead to real bad things, So you have to be really specific, and you depend on yourselves. You're not connected. You're like evolved out of survival. The most natural impulse. But when you have words like stress, what does stress mean? Stress means there is something which I don't understand, but I know it's here. And if I give it a word, and if it gains popularity, then I will get the illusion of reality that this word makes sense. But basically, what I'm saying with somebody, you have stress, I'm saying it it's the core is to avoid the sense itself. You have something which I don't want to clear. I'm aware that you have something which you have to clear, and you're not aware what you have which you have to clear. Vice versa. Less stress levels, more stress levels. Okay, stress in like physics, you have stress. It has some background in this kind of meaning. If you stress like a material or something like that, But where is the origin? You cannot like say, I will give you the reaction, I don't know the action. Fuck you. I don't know. That's why just one instance. But when I listen to theology, I'm like, we have like this one show. They're like, I don't know, this high-profile priests coming. They have like this interesting, like the questions are maybe like really hard, but they're so like intelligent by using those words, which I like. Grammar-wise, like German, that you can combine four words, to get exactly the meaning you want to be. It's not like in English where you have like some words which okay. What is okay? What does that mean? What's okay? Where from? Please let me know, etc. You know, we don't have such word in Croatia. Every word has story, has action behind it. Most of them, or they were inherited from other people which came here to like war or something like that. Blah 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 blah. But you know, we have like a spiritual cleanliness. Okay, we don't know what the spirit is. Uh, Cleanliness, you know. And let's say combine those four words to get an answer, you know, and people buy that shit. Unfortunately, you know, but I was fascinated, you know, as well with this because there's like this, what's it called? I don't know in English. Holy Spirit, yes, Holy Spirit, the Father of Jesus, Holy Spirit. Real estate wise, imagine like offspring. He should get half of the inheritance when the father dies, but there is it's the Holy Spirit. He doesn't die, and he's all father. He's all owner of all real estate. And this Greece Catholic part, Russian Catholic, they do allow the priest to have children, you know. But I don't know how they handle inheritance, you know. You should give away like half of your offspring should inherit your part of your real estate, and not just real estate, what you own, your ownings, except you have the Holy Spirit. Smart man. And was it like a conversation? You like communicate, say one sentence to 10 words, and interrupt each other, don't listen, blah blah blah, memorize 2-3 words, permanently delete every other word, and store these words, vice versa. Then have this like Man in Black situation. Boom, okay, we can continue. We have like glitches, which are so fast you continue to communicate. I don't know how, but we all communicate. But we don't, I don't know, detector wise, no chance we have the same record. No chance. Maybe some frequencies, okay, but we're getting closer, you know, we're getting tuned. I hope. But still, it's funny, you know, because words are like magic, you know, because they use your perception of insight and your perception of I don't know, conclusiveness, logics, self-belief, experience, maturity, sense. But most of the time the sense is based on visual, audio, or some sort of processing in the brain, so it isn't passive, it's always active. Look at this. This looks like an ASCII code. This one. I put everything in Croatian purposely. But the interesting thing is, I noticed, you know, when this is a pretty bit older version, I don't use nothing. But if you do this, it's just a simple command. It looks so cool, this one, you know, or let's say mrežna. Okay, I'm a bit slow. These are new letters, you know. This is like Sanskrit. They'll say Sanskrit. So I have a recommendation for everyone who is trying to transfer or is transferring audio video files from a PC to Android phone. Sometimes it gets lost. Be aware that whichever you videos, audio files, whatever you cannot find, if you cannot find it in your Android phone, connect it to your computer. Make sure you're offline.
accept in Android data transfer, go to internal storage, go to DTSIM, and there you will have the trashed files. Copy the trash files to the computer, change the name of the files, put them in a new folder, compress this folder, and then transfer this folder and decompress it on the Android phone. All folders which you don't use, which you tend to use someone in the future or have some backup or something like that, myself, I always compress it. I feel safer like that. I don't know why. Because I had to recover now files which I deliberately didn't upload because the content was too short. And I deliberately said, okay, I don't want to overdo it. I never do something like with a delay. That's why those uploads work. But yesterday I didn't have enough material, so I told to myself, okay, we'll continue tomorrow. And today, when I was looking for it, because I know I had merged videos with the same video editor I do always, and within the trash files they weren't there. I had to connect to the computer. Of course, I found them. When I tried to transfer them directly, I couldn't find them. There was only one file. And then I had to do what I explained just before. Now they're here, they're decompressed. Fuck you, Android, or whatever it is. Sorry if it's someone else, but I personally, I know Android is Linux based, but it doesn't have anything to do with Linux. Or if it does, it's a different environment. It's like those guys, I don't think they ever heard of key or locks or something like. They never seen, I think, a physical lock. They never had a key. I think, have a magnet card for their apartment or something like that, or a voice command for their engine to start. That's how I think of it. I have no other explanation. Yeah, I think I need to explain myself regarding storage. Most of the people aren't aware that I don't listen to Deezer, I don't listen to Spotify or those things, because DJs tend to have their own music, which they can in hard format. You have to download it. You have to have the 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 data of the song, not just via internet or via some protocol. You have to have it physically. So, for instance, I now am downloading 250 gigabytes of new music, and I started downloading it like 10 minutes ago, just spontaneously. So for the last 5 to 10 years, I need half terabyte per week, just for music, just for backup. And I really hope this as what it's ever called will survive and will keep this shit. I don't know how, but it has to stay dry, that's certain. And that this USB protocol won't be changed, that it will stay, or it will recognize it in the future. Okay. And when I use my processor and my RAMs, you will see it's all black. I use it. If you give me some sort of configuration, I will use it. I will not use it. I will overuse it. I will push it. Because I don't use medium. I'm doing rendering all the time. I use all the processing power I can whenever I can. I mean, I'm not used to high systems, but even I push my system more than anybody who has like a gaming system, because okay, they have graphic cards, but I don't use graphics. I use sound, and I use processors. And I don't need real-time dynamics and changes in glitches and in pixels and those things which like consume the most amount of your processing and GPU and CPU and whatever it is, But you don't have 500 gigabytes of new music every week stored, ready to play. And then when you put it through record box, then you have then you have a bunch of new added files. So you have to buy USBs as well, and you have to change those USBs every year if you want to play it. So when I export it to the record box, I don't use any modern features. My record box will be recognized on a player 10 years old, and I don't need phrases and those things, at least not for now. I don't have even money for those. It doesn't matter. I just want to say, people aren't aware, my friends, they don't download music, they listen music via streams, and it's good, it's really good quality. But it's like somebody said, it's like turning on the tap of the water. When you turn the tap of the water, you have music. When you turn it out, you don't have nothing. Without internet, you don't have music. So okay, if you like to listen to music, but what it YouTube or someone Deezer or those guys say we don't work anymore. We don't. I don't know. Sony and Warner told us fuck you, or YouTube bought Sony and Warner and told fuck you. What will you do then? What will you do then? When the radio frequencies and FM frequencies started to shut down, when you have to listen to online radio and the web collapses or whatever, million scenarios. Do you have your own music backup? Do you have CDs? What do you have? What do you have when you just have like electricity and nothing else? Think about it. Yeah, I'd rather permanently delete all my files than to upload them to any Dropbox, Google Drive, blah 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 drive, blah 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 drive, blah 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 drive shit, Because I was asking myself always, not always, but since this cloud era came, how do you archive a cloud? If you're working in an archive, how do you find things in a cloud? Or let's say if you're using this modern like new memory shit, how does an archiver find a book in an archive if he has no lights? Can you get me this module volume free? I will try. I think I will get it, but I'm blind, and by the way we have no power. But and he finds it, that's how it found with cloud. How do you cloud it? Okay, if it's not some military ionosphere shit where you use the atmosphere, but even then, how would you divide folders? What's cloud? So I even, when you have like downloads, sometimes you have things in downloads you don't want to erase, but it takes like sometimes, at least in my case, let's say 3 to 15 gigabytes, sometimes. And you don't want to go through it all, So sometimes I erase things which are obvious to erase, like pictures or something like it doesn't matter. But there are some like exe files for some programs or for some updates or firmwares which I want to keep maybe, but I don't want them to be touched for nobody but me, So I will compromise and keep this storage, but I will make a folder which will be called like the downloads, but not downloads, some abbreviation, AUG, like August, or 3 months from. Something which I understand. For me, it doesn't matter, whatever you spontaneously think of. Put like Control A means control all. Then you release, it will stay all. I'm explaining it for people who don't know this. So then you will have every file selected with Control A. But you don't want to have your folder where you want this file to go to be selected. Then you slightly scroll where this folder is, press Control, keep it, and just click once on this folder. And then everything will be selected besides this folder. And then you just drag and drop it in. You compress it, get a zip file, name it the same or whatever, delete this one, and then sometimes if you think it's something sensitive, then you can also go right click properties, hidden, apply OK. Or watch one of my first of my videos, like free videos, something with Windows. You can see which it's interesting because that's another way you can do it. You can, I cannot explain it to you because you're using you customize your thumbnail by using a white background ISO image icon, and it's the same color as the background of your window, and you just name it apostrophe or 0. and that looks like there's a bug or the screen is dirty. Like Brazilian names. They have like 4 or 5 names, and then they choose whichever name they like to be their surname, to be pronounced. Something's fishy. Like there was this guy, the grandfather of the president of Chile, Boric, and he went 2 times to back to Croatia. First time to find his wife in Ljubljana, and the second time when his son was born, he went again to get them to Chile. He knew exactly what I know about time back then. Those two trips were not, and the first trip as well, not coincidence.
U marihuanu sam se zaljubio sliko. Samo sanjam guštam i baš mi je lito. Lito! Samo gubim vrijeme.